Hello, my name is Anne and welcome to a Tobyknits Vlogmas day 18. It is just after lunch. The kids have been here all morning and they're just leaving and I need a rest. Yeah, they're just a little bit on the busy side and we do have some progress on the craft room. What's on the tree? What's on the tree?
Kristen, have you seen Santa Claus yet this year? Can you say, what does Santa say?
Evie, who's this? Evie, who's this? Dada.
Yeah, that's Dada.
It's Dada. It's Dada, Evie. When he was a little boy. Dada.
Dada. And you're getting...
That's Tristan.
Kristen, have you seen Santa Claus this year yet?
No.
No.
Well, I did
Make
at
room
Daddy's
for
house.
early
And he gave me a present and chocolate.
And there they go. And this is the mess we get to clean up.
Oh, sorry.
Say hello, Bob.
Hello, Bob.
So yeah, we have a bit of a mess here. As you can see.
Show the kitchen.
Oh, the kitchen. Well, let me have a look at the kitchen. We baked. We did some baking with them. I made peanut butter snowballs and then they had to have lunch. Hi. Okay, so here's the thing. Tristan and Evelyn have gone home, as you saw. And then I had to have a nap. I did, honest, I did. I was so tired after they left. And so I actually have got no knitting done today, none. Because normally I get up and have my quiet time and my knitting when I first get up, like 7:30-ish, 8 o'clock. Well, Andrew texted me at 7:30 and said, we're coming over. I was like, what? So I got no knitting done. I barely had time to even have a cup of tea before they showed up. So I've done nothing yet. So I'm going to go. Bob's just left to go to work. So I'm going to go and sit in a minute and do some knitting and relax. But first I thought it would be fun to show you all the socks I made this year. And believe it or not, I've made 14 pairs. Well, mine is 2 because there's only one of them, each of them. So I've made 14 pairs of socks. Actually, did I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, beg your pardon. And there's 3 on the go over there. Well, maybe 4. Don't think I'll get them all finished for Christmas, but at least 2 of them I should. Maybe 3. No, probably just 2. So I thought I'd show you them all and tell you all about them. So the very first pair, because my plan this year was to make a pair of socks a month. And on my Facebook group, we kind of, at the beginning, I used to give a little challenge and it was a lot of fun. Everybody was knitting and posting their socks and swapping, you know, good ideas for patterns and that. It was a lot of fun. And I would send out little prizes at the end of each month and stuff. And I think I did that all the way up until about June, July. And then it got ridiculous with the postage. And I don't make any money from YouTube. And I don't have a coffee account or any of that. So anything I did mail out was out of my pocket. So after a while, I just thought, yeah, you know, I'm not doing that. So, but it was fun on the, and I still have the group and we still post. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, so the first sock that I had picked for January, because I wanted to use my minis from last year. And these were the quilted stripe socks by Dana Ray Makes. And they are absolutely gorgeous. I really, really enjoyed making them and I definitely would make them again. So this is what they look like on my foot. Yes, I bought a foot to display socks. I think it's nicer than the sock blockers. So this is how they look on the sock. It's got the standard heel flap and turn, and I really, really like them. So that was the first pair. I started them January 2nd, and I finished them January the 13th. Then I decided, as you do, that I wanted to start dyeing yarn. And so I had bought a bunch of yarns from a friend of mine who'd stopped dyeing, and I decided I would dye yarn, and I would dye the yarn for my socks. So the next sock that I picked was this, and this is V for Valentine, I believe, by Ellie Jones of Craft House Magic. And they have a V on this side and a V on that side, and they're just plain otherwise. Really super sweet socks, and that's what they look like on the blocker. And this is my yarn. So this was the January, I wanted to do the birth flowers of the month, and January's birth flower was carnation. So I thought these were beautiful for the February socks. So this is my carnation yarn. And I was doing it dye to order, but then I stopped doing that too. So I started them January 30th and finished them February 10th. Whoops, where's my, get back here, Ravelry. I got my Ravelry open so I can tell you all the stuff. The next socks that I worked on were these, which were amazing. Amazing, such a fun pattern to make. And this again was my hand-dyed yarn, and this was called Violet, and it's the February flower, birth flower, and it came with a 20-gram mini in the lemon, because the middle of the violet's got that thing in it. So stamus, is that what they call it? So I'll show you what these look like on the blocker. And these are the Rumple socks by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And so that's what these look like on the block, on the foot. So those are pretty. I haven't worn any of these yet. I've kept them in the box so that next year I'll be able to wear them every day. Then in March, I thought I need to catch up, in April, because those are the March socks. In April, I decided I need to catch up my colors with the month. So I made these, and this is actually my own pattern, and it's on Ravely. It's a free pattern, and this is the holiday socks, and they're just a little short sock with a rounded toe, rounded heel, and heel flap. I like the rounded one better than the square heel turn, and a little bit of this. And the reason they're called the holiday sock, because I made these April 5th till April 20th, and this is I think this is Gladioli. No. Oh, Gerber Daisy. This one is the Gerber Daisy colorway that I came up with. Isn't that cool, the way it striped like that? If you tried to dye that again, I don't think that would ever happen. I just actually noticed that, how it stripes. That's super cool. So that was the Gerber Daisy one, and I might have one of them left in the shop. But the reason that I made them, because they're a very quick knit, because they're just plain, was because the holiday sock that I designed was made out of this yarn, because this is yarn. Every time I go on vacation somewhere, I usually I go to a yarn shop, and I will try and pick up a really pretty skein. And I normally get something I can't not get anywhere else, so a hand-dyed, local hand-dyed. And this was from Halifax when we had gone, I think the year before. And I just thought this was a beautiful skein. And so this is how the holiday sock came about, because I wanted something while I was on vacation I could knit that would be quick and easy, and so therefore the holiday sock was born. So when I needed to catch up my April color, which was Gerber Daisy, I quickly made the holiday socks. So the next one was wait, I think this is April. Yeah, this is the April sock. So what I did was to catch up, I did, yeah, that's right, because January was Carnation, February was Violet, and March was the Gerber Daisy, and April was Daffodil. So this was the actual April colorway for Daffodil, and this sock is a really nice sock pattern. It's called the Spring Cable by Eleanor Gray, and it's a free pattern on Ravely. So that was it, and it has the cable on both sides, on one side, but when you put them on, they're on the outside of each foot. So that was those I did in April. Gosh, I didn't realize I made this many pairs. May was a fun one. The May socks were the Lily of the Valley is the birth flower. So I dyed these, Lily of the Valley. And this one is called the Summer Folly by Heidi Alander. I'm trying to remember if this was a free one or not, but it has a really, so the rib comes all the way down the sock to there, and then this part of the sock is plain. I love that. And there again were a little shorty sock. Aren't they cute? I really like those. So that was the May sock, the May sock that I did. June, oh, it's one of my favorite colorways. The June sock, at this point, I had decided to purchase Helen Stewart's sock something. What was it called? Sock. Oh, what was it called? Helen Stewart's. The Handmade Sock Society from Helen Stewart, and you got 6 different sock patterns from, I think it was June all the way to December. So I haven't knit them all, but I've knit most of them. So this one was called the Feather Vein. Isn't that pretty? So nothing on the back, but the front has got this really nice pattern. And these were in my rose colorway. So this was rose, and you'll see little bits of green from the leaves and all the different types of colors of roses in the pinks. And so that was rose. That was June. July, I loved this color yarn. I love it, love it, love it. This is Larkspur, which is the flower for July. And, but I've only made one, because at this point now I was designing socks. I was also doing another Bakery Bears sock and another one of Helen Stewart socks, I think. So I had like so many socks on the go in June, July. It was just horrendous. So, and I actually did not like this sock pattern. I did not like it. it called for 2 cable needles to be used at the same time on a stitch. And I was all fingers and thumbs. I just did not enjoy it. So my plan going forward is to finish it, because obviously I have the sock for the yarn for the other one. But I'm not going to do the pattern. I'm just gonna do the rib, then I'm gonna purl all the way to there, and then follow the rest of the pattern. I'm not gonna do this bloody cable. Don't tell anybody. But this is really pretty yarn. This is the Larkspur, and it's got purple in it and blue. So yeah. I've actually taken all my yarn out of my Etsy shop right now, and currently all that's in there is the Spooky Spider socks and the Evergreen socks, because in the new year I want to take a look at what I've got left in my stock, take some nicer pictures, I think, and then put the yarn back, and maybe in the beginning of January put them on a discount for a bit. But so, and plus I didn't want to get into the like, if people wanted to buy some of my yarn now, they're not going to get it for Christmas. And I didn't want the hassle of having to try to run to the post office. I hate posting stuff. Honest to God, I hate it, because the cost of postage is horrendous. And it really upsets me that I have to charge that much to my customers to ship the thing. But anyway, August socks were paper wings, which again were from Helen Stewart's Secret Sock Society. And this yarn was gladioli, I think. Yes, this is gladioli, which is my mum's favorite flower. And this is what it looks like on the foot. So I added white to the cuff and toe, but not to the heels. And isn't that pretty? All the different colors in that. Liked that one. So that was August. Then September was a lovely sock, again from the Secret Sock Society, Helen Stewart. But this, it's a nice pattern to follow, it really is. But again, I was designing and working on other stuff, and I literally did not have time to make the second sock. But I will. This one is called Mermaid Mermaid Shell Socks. And this is very pretty. I do like that one. And this goes all the way down either side. And plain here and plain on the back. And this sock was Aster that I dyed, which is the birth flower for September. So that is Aster. Isn't that pretty with the yellows and the purples? Gosh, I'm having so much fun looking at all these colors again. Then in October, I designed the Spooky Spider socks. This is my first paid for pattern, and it's on Ravelry, and it's also on Etsy. So this, and this was yarn I dyed up for it as well. And what I did with this one was I did a pre-order, and people could order the yarn, and then they got the pattern free. If they didn't want the yarn because they had their own, then they would just buy the pattern. So this one has little spooky spiders coming down the front of the sock. They go all the way down past the heel, and this one, I did this colors different. So all the way past the pumpkin patch. And it came with a 20-gram black and a 20-gram orange. And then it comes all the way down, and there are more spiders there, and one nestled right there, which you can probably see better there. And yeah, so these were the Spooky Spider socks on the Spooky Spider sock yarn. And all my yarn is fingering weight, which I think you call 4-ply in Britain, I forget now. And it's, although I think most of mine is 3-ply, to be honest with you. And it comes from a mill in Ontario, and it's 80% merino, 20% nylon. So that's October. Then November, I designed another pair of socks, and these are the evergreen socks. And these 2 big evergreen trees are in my front yard. Can you see them out the window there? So there's 2 of them out there. Oh, this is probably gonna fall now because I've disturbed it. Woo! And then I've got a bunch of cedar trees right behind it. They're very tall. And every time we get an ice storm, which, you know, it's Canada, we do. One of them completely bends over, one of the cedars, totally bends over, like it's like, oh God, it's this stuff again. And every year we think it's gonna crack and break, and when they crack, my gosh, it sounds like a gunshot. But so far it hasn't. So poor thing. So and this is the road right outside my house where the trees are. So here it is here. You can see it better there. There are the trees, the 2 big evergreens, and the road. And then you come down the foot, and there's another little few pearl bumps down there, which is the train bridge, which is over in the corner. And then of course this is the snow on with the leaves that have, or branches that have fell off the evergreen. And this again I hand dyed, and I did not put this one up as a pre-order, forgot the word, because it was so close to me going away to Nova Scotia, and I didn't want to be stuck last minute dyeing yarn and getting it mailed before I went off to Nova Scotia for baby duty. So I just dyed a bunch of them up and put them in the shop, and I think there might still be one left, but I'm not sure. Then the other 2 pairs of socks that I made was this one, and I feel like this was a Helen Stewart one. Oops, when did I make this one? Hang on. Yeah, this was the very first in the Secret Sock Society. I actually made this one in April and finished it in June. And this was called the Shadow Box sock. So this was one I was knitting at the same time I was doing all the other ones. So here it is. This yarn I got in Nova Scotia, I think. I'm not sure. And I totally forget the name of the dyer of this yarn. But that's very pretty too. I love purple and blue. So there was that one. And then the other sock I did make, which I have no knowledge of when, it's not even in my Ravelry account for some reason. But it's, I feel like it was the summer, because I feel like it was the Bakery Bears, because I'm one of their Patreons. The Bakery Bears had a summer of stitches, I think. So I'm assuming it was June or July. I literally can't remember. And this one was called the Beachcomber sock. And I hand dyed this yarn because Kay had done it in something very similar to this. So I did one myself, tried to dye something similar. And this was called Sandy Beach. And this one is on a BFL base. And I do think I might have 2 of these in the shop. One's a merino and one's BFL. It's such a pretty color though. And it's lovely. Look, they look like whale's tails or mermaid tails. So yeah, that is all the socks I have made this year so far. And that's a long video. So I'm gonna close now. I am going to go and have, oh, we have to do the hot chocolate. Let's go do that. Okay, day 5. I need a hot chocolate right now too. How can I not get this open? Oh, the Nutcracker. Let's have a look and see what that is. Oh, by the way, do you like my nails? Oh, let me get that out of the way. I did them last night. These are my nail wraps that I get from, oh, that's not focusing. There. That I get from Lillian Fox. So yeah, did them today. Okay, let's check this out. So it's double truffle, which I think we had the other day, didn't we? Oh, that's okay. I'm still ready for it. Okay, I am super tired. And I got a bit of a funny throat. I hope I'm not getting anything. So I'm going to go and have that lovely hot chocolate now. Sit down, catch up on all my Advent knits. And I will be back to talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye.